Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something huge, a global megatrend that's literally changing how we live, how we work, and even how we invest. For centuries, the goal was just living longer. Simple, right? But now, something big is shifting. We're moving away from just counting the years and starting to focus on the quality of those years. Okay, let's really get into this. The key difference here, and this is so important, is between lifespan, that's just the total number of years you live, and health span. That's the good stuff, the time you spend healthy and active. And guess what? This simple idea is sparking a brand new marketplace. So, this desire for a longer, healthier life, it's not just a nice thought. It has ignited a massive, and I mean massive, global market for all kinds of products and services that help us feel our best as we get older. And the numbers? They're pretty staggering. We're looking at a projected growth rate of over 10% every single year. To put that in perspective, this market is set to jump from about $23.5 billion in 2025 to over $63 billion by 2035. That's some serious growth. And what I find really fascinating is just how diverse this market is. It's not just one thing. We're talking about everything from the dietary supplements you might see on a shelf to high-tech medical devices, anti-aging skincare, and even telehealth solutions. This really paints a clear picture of what's happening. On one hand, you have dietary supplements. They're the big player right now, the largest segment, mostly because we're all pretty used to them. But look at where the real action is. Telehealth solutions are the fastest growing part of this market. It tells you everything you need to know. Technology is the future here. So what's behind all this? What's fueling this incredible growth? Well, it's basically a perfect storm. You've got a rapidly aging population all over the world. You've got huge leaps in technology like AI and the wearables we all have on our wrists. Plus, there's this major cultural shift towards preventing illness instead of just treating it. It's all coming together at once. But an explosion like this doesn't just happen out of nowhere. It needs fuel. And in this case, that fuel is a massive wave of investment. Let's take a look at the money pouring in. So, back in 2023, investors put almost $4 billion into this sector. A pretty big number, right? Well, hold on, because just 1 year later, that number more than doubled to nearly $8.5 billion. A 220% increase? That's not just hype anymore. That tells you this market is in a serious execution phase. And there's no question about where the center of this financial boom is. It's the United States. By a long shot. The U.S. is dominating, making up a whopping 84% of all the investment deals in 2024. So, who's writing these huge checks? It's a really interesting mix. You've got the big tech VCs like GV, you have specialized biotech investors, and you even have government players like the National Institutes of Health getting in on the action. When you see that kind of diverse support, you know this trend is real. And here's the key takeaway about the money. Investors aren't just spraying cash around anymore hoping something sticks. The market is maturing. They're making bigger, more calculated bets on the specific companies they believe are going to win in the long run. Okay, so this isn't just a business trend. It's becoming so significant that it's actually forcing governments to act. We're seeing nations around the globe starting to seriously plan for a future with older, but also much healthier populations. And this isn't just a handful of countries either. By 2023, almost 80% of UN member states had some kind of policy on aging. But what this chart shows is really revealing. There's a clear link to income. High-income countries are way more likely to have these proactive plans in place. And the end goal for many of these policies is this idea called mainstreaming aging. It sounds a little jargony, but it's simple. It's about weaving the needs of older people into every part of policymaking. We're talking transportation, housing, emergency planning, you name it. And when you look at these national plans, you start to see some common themes pop up again and again. They're focused on things like keeping older adults working and learning, fighting ageism in the media, making sure healthcare is easy to access, and, really importantly, creating cities and homes that are friendly to people of all ages. So let's pull all these threads together. You've got a booming marketplace, you have a flood of investment, and you have a global policy response. When you add all that up, you don't just have a trend, you have the birth of an entirely new economy. And that brings us to the longevity economy. So what is it? It's basically the sum of all economic activity that's driven by people aged 60 and over. And here's the thing. This generation is healthier, more connected, and has more economic power than any before it. And just to be clear, we are not talking about some small niche market here. By 2026, this is projected to be a $27 trillion economic force. That is just massive. And you can already see smart companies jumping on this. Think about Nike's Fly Easy sneakers. They're designed to be super easy to put on. Or Honda's safety tech that helps in your drivers. Even Airbnb has noticed that their older hosts are actually their highest rated hosts. It just goes to show designing for everyone isn't just the right thing to do, it's incredibly smart business. So this really lays out a roadmap, a playbook for any business that wants to get in on this. Step 1, design products for everyone. Step 2, change your marketing. Talk to people's aspirations, not stereotypes. Step 3, use technology to connect and support people. And step 4, and this one is crucial, don't push senior talent out the door. Value their experience. I mean, this quote really hits the nail on the head. The longevity economy isn't a niche, it's a megatrend. The businesses that figure out how to serve this huge, vibrant part of our population, they're the ones who are going to succeed in the long run. It's that simple. So this really leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? The era of longevity is here. It's happening. The question isn't if we'll live longer anymore. The real question is, how are we all going to live, work, and thrive in this new world? As science, business, and policy all push to extend our health span, we have to think about how we build a society that's truly ready for it.